Hello, welcome, and thanks for joining us today for the next webinar in our What's New series. Has this year just flown by for anyone else? Because I can't quite believe that it's September already. But anyway, we've got a bunch of updates for you today. So in this webinar, we'll cover some of the newest features in Microsoft 365 that you can implement in your business, as well as covering some brand new features that are coming up in the next few months. Now, don't feel like you need to make notes or take it all in straight away, as we'll be sending out a recording of the webinar and a follow-up fact sheet later today. Also, if you have any questions, please feel free to drop them into the Q&A box at the side at any time. I'll do my best to keep an eye on those as we go along, but there will also be dedicated time at the end for questions. So let's take a look at the agenda for today. We've got sharing and joining channels is more easy to do now in Teams. We've got channel cards, we've got show or hide discover feed, calendar notifications now in Teams, Copilot set to assist in SharePoint, and a few extras that aren't on this list as well. And lastly, what's next? As always, let's start with an introduction. It's good to see so many of you coming back and joining us again, and also welcome to all of the new faces. My name is Craig Mundy, and I'm the Marketing Campaign Executive at Bedroq. You might recognize my voice from other videos on our website or YouTube channel. Bedroq is an IT managed service provider and Microsoft solutions partner for modern work. This means that most of the IT we implement is based on the Microsoft stack, so that includes things like Microsoft 365, Microsoft Teams, Azure, etc. We're also experts in secure, resilient networks and managed IT solutions where high performance is critical. We work with organizations that have some of the highest security requirements in the UK, and we manage mission critical IT and operational technology for those highly regulated organizations. The most important thing that we want to achieve, no matter what your organization does, is to make sure that your IT strategy is supporting your business as a whole. And we can do this through the help of our 8 strategic rocks. So you can see these on the slide here: data, skills, backup, strategy, investment, security, quality of service, and collaboration. Now, the collaboration rock, is the focus of this webinar series, as most of the Microsoft 365 apps that we talk about are collaboration tools. Many people that we come across have invested heavily into their IT. They've bought all these apps and have the best Microsoft licenses, but they're not using them to their full potential and therefore not really seeing the best return on investment either. So that's the aim of this webinar series, to keep you up to date with everything that's coming out and everything that you can start to implement that you've probably already got access to, and hopefully make a big difference to your business strategy. Okay, so first up today, we have an update that makes it easier for users to access relevant shared channels and for channel owners to more easily manage channel membership. So users that share the same tenant can request to join a shared channel by using the channel's share link. To share this link with someone, all you need to do is simply right-click on the desired channel name. In the screenshot on the left here, you can see that I'm just using the general channel. I've scrolled my mouse down to get link to channel, clicked on it, and it will open up that window in the bottom left that you see. From here, you can click copy, and then you're ready to paste it in a message to the relevant person or people that you wish to join that channel. When you share it with someone, they will be able to click the link, which opens the window that you see on the right-hand side, or sort of in the center there, with the option to join channel. After they've clicked it, channel owners will then receive the join request and can easily approve or deny any requests that come through. This update fosters efficient collaboration within your organization, and it also helps to reduce the admin tasks for your channel owners. I think that this will be particularly useful with setting up any new employees or colleagues that start at your organization, as you can share specific training and onboarding channels, as well as the general day-to-day channels, rather than having to be a channel owner, going into the settings and do all of it in the background. Anyone that's within that within that channel can share it within your organization and share their channels to the relevant people through this feature. This feature is available now. Carrying on from Microsoft Teams channels, here's an update bringing you channel cards. So, oops, sorry about that, there we go. So we're on channel cards. You're now able to get a quick overview of a channel through its channel card. And to access this, you have to click into the channel, and then at the top of the Teams sort of channel chat section, there'll be a name and a logo. If you hover your mouse over there, after a few seconds, the channel card will appear. And as you can see on the slide here are a couple of examples that you can see exactly what they look like, depending on the settings of the group and your permissions. So you can see the description of the channel, last activity time, team name, membership information, which all will help you to quickly understand the context and purpose of the channel. What you see here will vary depending on your permissions, as I say, and whatever the channel owner has set for this. The channel card also provides easy access to notification settings, so the little bell icon, owner channel management, so the cog there, and the channel roster, as well as the aforementioned channel link at the bottom of both of these screenshots. So this feature ties in quite nicely with the previous one. Again, perhaps for any new starts at your organization, they can quickly get up to speed with what all of your different channels are used for, or where to look for specific information. This feature is also available now. This next update is a super straightforward one, but a heavily requested one from the Microsoft community. The Discover feed, in case you don't know, was said to make it easier for you to stay informed and engaged with the content that matters to you most. Its purpose is to, and I quote, improve information discovery and awareness by delivering a relevance-based feed of Teams channel content. However, I'm not sure that I'm the only one that have felt this way as well, given that this update has come about and some of the comments I've read on the online forums. But the Discover feed just sort of cluttered an already busy part of Teams with your chats, activity / notifications, and it felt a bit like an unnecessary duplication of your notifications you were getting anyway. But let me quickly talk you through how to enable or disable this anyway. So make your way to your Microsoft Teams settings by clicking the 3-dot menu in the top right-hand corner of Teams. Then within General, you'll find a slider where you can toggle whether or not Discover feed is shown. And it's as simple as that. If they happen to make some changes to the Discover feed and improve it, then you can come back to the same place and toggle it back on, and then we'll get all of that interesting information that they want you to see. Let me know your thoughts on the Discover feed in the chat, because maybe I'm just being a bit pessimistic or I'm missing something more useful about it. I'm curious to know if you guys have had a good experience with it or not. This feature is thankfully available now. Now, this next update, you have probably already come across it in your day-to-day working. So when someone invites you to and cancels, changes the time or date, or forwards one of your meeting invitations, you will now get a notification within your activity feed within Microsoft Teams. When you're in your activity feed and scrolling through all your notifications, you can quickly identify this sort of notification by the blue calendar picture next to the person's profile picture or initial. So on the left-hand side, you can see there's a blue circle with a white calendar. As you can see by the rest of the screenshot, you still get all of the same information that you would get and still do if you were viewing the meeting within Outlook. You are able to respond with accept, tentative, and decline. You can copy the link, forward the invitation, and also able to choose what your status will be set to within your Outlook calendar during this meeting, such as busy, out of office, or if it's a private meeting that you don't want any of the details to show up with, then you can select private. There's also a few more options there. Additionally, you will be able to see any notes, further information, or agenda points to give you context for the meeting. That is, has to be said, if the meeting organizer has included these or set it up, as I know we have quite a few people who don't use those. But as you can see here, Alex has done a great job giving us an agenda and outcome, so we have some context coming into the meeting. Now, I found this to be a pretty useful update, as it somewhat improves efficiency, as it just gets added to the rest of my notifications rather than having to check Outlook as well, although, of course, I still do. But it certainly helps when I'm traveling, so if I don't have access to all of my extra monitors and I'm just working from my smaller laptop, then it's easier to just manage meeting invitations all within one section without having to tab between all of my applications. As I said, you still get the meeting notification through Outlook as well, so I would absolutely understand if you wanted to avoid having yet another Microsoft Teams notification sound going off. So I'll just talk you through how you can change these settings as well. So as before, make your way to Microsoft Teams settings through the three-dot menu in the top right. Click on the notifications and activity section, and then you need to scroll down quite a bit to get to calendar settings. Here, you're able to change whether your new invites, updates and cancellations, or your forwarded meetings show in activity and banner, show in the activity section of Microsoft Teams, or they don't show at all. And if you have it set to off on either of these, you'll still get the notifications through Outlook, but it just perhaps clears up a bit of that clutter by getting another ping coming through Microsoft Teams. Now, both the update and the ability to change these settings are available now. Okay, next up, Microsoft will soon add another application that you can use Copilot in. So we already have it within Teams, Word, PowerPoint, Outlook, Excel, all the fan favorites. However, it will now be coming, or soon be coming, to SharePoint as well. So after the rollout, users with a Microsoft 365 Copilot license will see a Copilot option, which is the top right-hand corner of this screenshot, within SharePoint's rich text editor while editing page content. The aim of this is to assist your editors in drafting new pages, adjusting the tone, condensing or elaborating on your content that you've already written. Now, here's an example of the work it can do when it's given the rewrite. Well, goodness, what's the word for that? Just when you choose the rewrite option, that's what I'm trying to say. Now, I'm not expecting you to read it now, as I appreciate it's a lot of text just now, but perhaps when you're reading through the fact sheet later or watching the recording later on, this will give you a bit of an idea of Copilot's capabilities, as I say, when it's rewriting rather than writing from scratch. As we've discussed in the past, you will have to take what's written with a pinch of salt and always reproof the content, as it can sometimes be quite obvious that it's written by AI, and it also tends to default to American English instead of British English for a lot of the words. So if that's something that you need to be aware of, then you definitely need to proof these. With all that being said, however, it can be a really good way to break the white space, or just to help you create more succinct content, because we know people don't like reading paragraphs and paragraphs of text. So maybe this will help keep things succinct. So it'll hopefully be a useful feature for those of you who spend a lot of time formatting SharePoint pages, by giving you a quicker way to get started on writing, or perhaps just with your editing. And of course, all of this will feed back into the AI learning, and it will hopefully continue to improve Copilot. Now, this update has been pushed back and is currently due to be available, well, late August to early September, so any time now. But so you might have access to it, or we might just have to keep an eye out for it. Okay, next we're moving on to Microsoft Lists. Now, this is a small update, but I think honestly it's quite a big quality of life improvement for those of you who do use Microsoft Lists. So if you're like me and you enjoy using lists to keep on top of your tasks or your shopping or what you're packing for your holidays, then you'll understand how important it is to be able to organize and edit said list. Microsoft Lists has a lot of really good features like tags and dates and a plethora of other customization. However, until this update rolls out, there is no real way to rearrange the order of things in your list other than by a specific metric. So, for example, by date, going newest to oldest, oldest to newest, etc. Well, soon you will be able to drag and drop individual and multiple items to reorder them within the Microsoft Lists app. I have a few colleagues that use Microsoft Lists within Teams actually to keep on top of meeting notes, actions, and who's been assigned to what actions. So I think they're going to be very excited about this. However, they may have to dampen down that excitement a little bit as the availability of this update is kind of vague at the moment, but it's due between now and early October. Right, now this update comes in two parts, as it's relating to both existing Teams channels and new Teams channels. Microsoft is introducing the ability for channel owners to rename the general channel in new and existing Teams. It's important to note here that it cannot be changed back to general if you rename it. As you can see in the screenshot, all you need to do as a channel owner is right-click on the general channel or click on the three-dot menu when your mouse hovers over the general channel, which will give you the menu on the right. Click on the rename channel at the bottom, and then you can change it to whatever you see fit. The rename general channel will then appear alphabetically in the list. As far as I know, you'll then be able to click and drag it to sort the order of it within that channel. With regards to this update in new Teams channels, when you're creating a new one, you'll get an option that looks a bit like this. General will no longer be able to be the default name. It will no longer be the default name of the first channel you create. So you have to choose a name for it when you set up a new team. And also it cannot be called general and it cannot be archived or deleted. Being able to edit this first channel name along with any of the subsequent channels within that team, like you can already, can help you to customize and perhaps declutter your channel lists. So, for example, within Bedroq in a smaller team, the general channel just becomes the main place for speaking, even when you're not too sure where to put things or just everything is expected to go into it. But I have heard in some other large organizations, the general chat can be used for purely as a log as to who's joined and left the organization or that channel. So now being able to edit the name of it can ensure that every channel that you have within a team has its purpose and everyone is clear as to what to post and where. This update is it was previously pushed back from August, so again, we might just have to keep an eye on it if they push it back again. Okay, and that's us for today. It's a bit of a shorter one this month, as updates over the summer months slow down quite a lot for Microsoft. So hopefully, in the next month's webinar, we'll have plenty more to share with you. I just wanted to quickly let you know about the next webinar in this series. That'll be coming next month. So it will be taking place on the 3rd of October. And you can register for that now on our website or through the link that my colleague has posted into the chat box just now. We look forward to seeing you all there. And if there are any topics or questions that you wish me to cover, then it can be in the next webinar or just over emails, then please get in touch with me and I'll be happy to have a look into it and have a chat. So that's the link in the chat now. So if you want to make sure that the next event is in your diary, please go ahead and register just now, send it to your colleagues that might be interested, do all the good stuff. Now, remember, all of these webinars are recorded and accessible through our YouTube channel and website. So if you've enjoyed this, then please make sure to go and have a look through them if you're interested in learning a bit more. I will now just quickly take you through our stakeholder workshop that Bedroq run called the 8 Rocks assessment. It goes back to the 8 rocks that I talked about at the very, very beginning of the webinar. This is a stakeholder workshop designed to get consensus on your business priorities, and it can be conducted face-to-face or virtually. And the aim of it is to get leaders and investors aligned behind the best ways to fully assess your IT strategy. And it's important to note that there are no cost implications with this other than a mutual investment of time. So let's say if you're an IT leader at your organization and you need a bit of backup to prove to the CFO that you need to make an investment into your IT, or if you're looking at ways to better use your existing IT investments, well, we're happy to look at all of these things and anything in between. So let us know if this is something that might interest you. We'll be happy to set you up with this and introduce you to the team that will walk you through this process. So we've got a little bit of time here, a bit of extra time for some Q&A. So if you have any questions, please do just pop them into the Q&A box just now. I'll just have a quick read and just see if we've got anything that's come through. Okay, so it looks like we don't have any questions today. I guess they're all quite self-explanatory, these updates, so that's not a problem. We'll just keep moving then. So again, if any questions come to you, perhaps while you're looking through the fact sheet later today, or on a totally different topic within Microsoft Teams, a different application or something, then please feel free to reply to the email that I'll send out later this afternoon. That'll have the recording and the fact sheet. I'll be happy to help with any queries about the content that was in this webinar or anything else, and we can look to cover your suggestions in the future as well. So again, thank you very much for joining us today, everyone. I hope you have a great rest of your week, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Goodbye.